The following production is produced by the State University of New York College at Oneonta.
Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of Inside Red Dragon Sports. I'm your host, Geoff Hassard, the Assistant Director of Athletics and Sports Information Director here at the college. And tonight we have a very special edition for you as we're going to welcome in the studio our Winter All-Americans along with their respective coaches to talk about their experiences at the national tournaments. So please stay tuned after the break where I'll be joined by my first two All-Americans.
What makes D3 special is the ability to participate in my team and within the broader community.
The perfect ending to a perfect season.
Being a D3 student athlete has completely expanded my life.
I learned how to lead. I really found a voice.
What time is it? It's game time!
It's more about the experience rather than just a sport itself.
Without the experience of being a Division III student athlete, I wouldn't be the person who I am today.
NCAA Division III. Discover, develop, dedicate.
Welcome back to the show. Now joining me in studio, track All-Americans Darrell Cull and Lauren Brunetto. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Why don't you, first of all, congratulations on your accomplishments this past weekend at the National Championships out at DePaul University.
Thank you.
Tonight we just want to talk about your experience and what it was like to train and really be in the moment of your races. So, Lauren, now we had you on the show a little earlier in the semester, and one of your goals was to try and qualify for the NCAAs.
Yeah.
Can you just tell us a little bit about how that culminating effort, got to where you were, and then talk a little bit about your experience?
Well, I ended up qualifying at the Boston meet, which I was really excited about, but I was nervous because I had moved down from 5th to 15th spot, so I didn't think I was going, but when I finally found out I was going in as 9th, I was really excited because I never thought I would go to nationals this soon. But when I went there, it wasn't as intimidating as I thought it was going to be. Like, everyone was so nice. Like, I didn't recognize that many faces, so I had no one to be nervous about. But the whole racing experience was good. The race was nice. No one tried to block me in or anything like that. And at the end, all the girls were so friendly and so congratulating, so it was a good experience.
Now your event was the 800 meters,
yes.
And you're only a sophomore, which certainly bodes well. We still have an outdoor season coming up, and then obviously 2 more years of some great running for yourself. Like you said, when you got there, you ran a personal best time of the season. Did you think you were going to be able to do that, or were you just trying to just live in the experience and just, it's my first time and I'll do my best, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect because I wasn't able to hit that time, the time I hit at Boston on a flat track since then. So I was a little nervous that I wouldn't PR or I'd finish last, but either way, just going would have been awesome. But on the first day when I finished 4th, and I PR'd that day, I was so excited and the pressure was off. So Saturday I was just so excited just to see what place I could get.
So that first day really kind of got the jitters out of the way, and you relaxed and you qualified, so you were able to really focus on that final on the next day. So well, that's certainly, that's great. Well, now Darrell, you were in the 55 meters, yes. Running with some of the top runners, a couple, one defending national champion in the race coming back, and then someone who had run a faster time going in. You had the 3rd fastest qualifying time. What was the experience like for you at your first time at the Nationals?
Well, actually, it wasn't my first time at Nationals. I went to a junior college Nationals at Mall Valley Community College, so it was really nerve-wracking. Just the prelims were more nerve-wracking than the finals because, you don't know what's going to happen, and I don't know. Now,
would you compare the two, how would you differentiate between junior college Nationals and the, the NCAA Division III level? I mean, is there really a difference? I mean, the quality of the athletes, or?
Not really. I think Division III is more organized, national-wise and everything, and the experience was better.
Now, you came into the meet, you had just PR'd at the ECACs, you ran a 6.32. I mean, did you think you'd be able to run that fast, or, I mean, what was kind of your feeling or thinking going in and how you would approach the event?
I expected to run 6.32 at Nationals or better, but things didn't pan out the way I wanted to. But
right. Now, going into outdoor season for the both of you now, I mean, obviously, now you'll concentrate in the 100, possibly the 200 events during the outdoor season?
Yes. Okay,
and Lauren, you'll be back at the 800 where you nearly, you're SUNY champion and nearly qualified last year for the outdoor nationals. Can you first, Lauren, talk a little bit about the outdoor season now and you know, what kinds of things? I mean, obviously you want to stay healthy, but you know, what are you looking forward to now as we go to the outdoor season?
I'm looking forward to trying to qualify again because the time I hit indoor at nationals is a second off of what I hit last year outdoor. So I'm hoping to qualify again and go to nationals.
Right. Now, what kind of, you know, now that you're outdoors more, you know, with the indoor, we're kind of, you know, with the facility that we have, even though we do make the most of it, what kind of training or running will be involved in trying to get yourself to, you know, to get those times?
I'm sure the workouts will be similar to what we've been doing, but it's so much better on like your whole body to run outside and not on the hard gym floor. So I'm hoping to be healthier than I am now and less sore.
Right.
So.
Now for Darrell, I mean, is there more weight training involved now for the outdoor season, or you know, how will your training differ from, because 55 meters is significantly shorter than 100 and obviously shorter than 200, so what kind of training will you be doing?
Maybe a little bit longer distance now that we have like the facility of outdoors.
Right.
So in weightlifting, it'll probably still be the same as indoor.
Right. Now, when you train for, you know, if the 200 is going to be one of your events, I mean, what kind of training is involved in that? I mean, do you run a lot of 300s? Do you, you know, just so people out there kind of understand what kind of training you would be involved in as far as running-wise?
Probably stick to 60s, and maybe the farthest I'll go up is maybe 180s.
Okay, 180s, and then you work on short sprint stuff so that you can, you know, your form. I mean, does that have anything to do with it? Maybe trying to fix some things in your form when in running and stuff? I mean,
yeah, my form does need a little bit of work indoor.
Right.
Me and Matt has worked on a lot of stuff, and it definitely has helped during the indoor season, so we'll just keep working on things.
Now, what kind of, for the starts, I mean, obviously getting out of the blocks or whatever, I mean, how important is that in really, you know, getting going in your race? I mean, can you talk a little bit about, you know, coming out of the blocks and how you know, try to come out, you know, low, high? I mean, you know, just give us a little bit of information about that.
I try to come out low and stay in my drive phase for at least 30 meters.
Now, you say drive phase, that means, you know, trying to just get going, get yourself up to a speed, and then, you know, once you come out of your, you know, that drive phase, you should be at full speed. Is that the way it works in
yes.
the 100 and whatever now? Now, in the 200, you have to run half a turn. It's not all straightaway. Yeah. Do you think that'll affect anything in the way that you, you know, approach your training?
No, not at all.
No? There's no, you know, between the 100 and the 200, I mean, do you think there'll be any difference in you know, making that jump up? I mean, junior college, what events did you do during the outdoor season? Was it the 100 and the 200?
100, 200, and the 4x1.
Oh, and the 4x1. Now, there's an event. How do we think we're going to do in our 4x1 relay? Because, of course, now we've been very strong in our 4x4s. I mean, we have SUNY champion men and women, you know, for multiple times as a track program. The 4x1, how do you see that event for us this year?
It can go good. I mean, we have great sprinters and great athletes on this team, so if things work itself out, we can do really good, maybe qualify for nationals, definitely qualify for SUNY and ECAC. So. Right,
and you think that we have probably a pretty formidable force in that we think we might be able to get to the nationals?
Yeah.
Well, that's certainly, we hope so. Now, Lauren, besides the 800, what other events will you be involved in during the outdoor season?
Definitely the 4x4. I want to try longer events maybe, see how I can do since I have the cross-country base now, but I'll probably just stick to the 800. The 800? Mm-hmm. You might, and maybe in a couple of early meets, maybe try like the 1500? Or? Yeah, I did it once last year, and it wasn't my best time that I've hit in high school, but I think this year I'll be better at it. You think your training in the 800 might, you know, with the stuff that you've done this year and a little, you know, year older, a little stronger, you think that might, you know, you might have a chance to be able to maybe run a better time in the 1500? Definitely, especially with cross country as well. Right, with the base during the season. Well, we certainly, again, would like to congratulate both of you on your accomplishments, and we certainly wish you good luck during the outdoor season, and we hope to have you back here as outdoor All-Americans, you know, in maybe a couple months or so. Okay. All right, well, congratulations. Thank you. And thanks for coming by. All right, well, I'd like to thank Darrell and Lauren for coming by tonight, and after the break, I'll be joined by 2 more All-Americans.
WUOW 104.7 FM is the region's premier radio station, offering award-winning programming from National Public Radio and Pacifica Radio networks, giving you the chance to become more informed about the arts, information, and entertainment from around the country and around the world. WUOW is your community radio station. Join us and support the sound.
Welcome back to the show. Now joining me in studio, wrestling All-Americans Chris Wade and Josh Wake. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you very much.
We'd like to see a little hardware here that you brought back from the NCAAs. Pretty exciting, huh?
Absolutely.
Congratulations to both of you. Outstanding accomplishments. I mean, to be an All-American is quite a feat. So congratulations to both.
Thank you.
Josh, we had you on the show earlier in the semester.
Yes.
And you were focused. I mean, you were talking about this is my goal and this is what I want to do. So can you kind of run us through meeting a goal, setting a goal and getting there?
I mean, really, since beginning of the season, obviously I wanted to get to nationals again because I made it last year and get on the podium and All-American. And really just throughout the whole season, just working hard, staying focused. And I mean, it's just work hard and you can get there. So it's just a matter of putting the work in and help with the coaches too, working with us and made it happen. So
now you the first day of the competition, you beat the number 7 seed and then you beat the number 2 seed in your bracket at 184 pounds. You got yourself into the national semifinals. What did that feel like?
That was one of the best experiences ever. I mean, the adrenaline was just pumping. You go out there and you win 2 matches that, I mean, on paper you weren't supposed to win. So it was a great experience. I mean, I knew I could do it. I just had to show up and wrestle hard, and it was ready. And I mean, it was just a great experience for myself and experience that, with the coaches and after our 4 years.
Now on day 2, I mean, when you get to this level, everybody's good.
Yes.
So even on day 2, some of these guys fall down into the the wrestlebacks, and they're still I mean, a lot of top seeds fell into the wrestlebacks in a lot of the categories. And so you ran into some of those top seeds again, and you ended up finishing 6th.
6th, yes.
And the second day, I mean, were you disappointed or what?
I was slightly disappointed. I mean, just All-American was it's fantastic, and I wanted to do a little better this second day. I just wasn't on top of my game. I don't know, but must have been all the excitement from the first day. But I mean. I really wish I could have did a little better the second day, but when looking back at it now, I'm happy with my performance. And
well, I think it's true of individual sports. I mean, you can have a great day, and then the next day might be just one thing that might be missing, and you say, hey, I did wrestle good, but all these other guys are just as good, and it doesn't take much in individual sports, does it?
No.
Each day can be different.
Yeah. Now, Chris, first year with our program, transferred here. You're no stranger to the national tournament as far as, I mean, new to the Division III level, but of course you were a runner-up at the junior college level a couple years ago. Compare the 2 experiences in preparing and how you accomplished what you did.
I'd say they're fairly similar. I think that D3 was a little more organized. I think that the competition was a little bit, maybe even tougher because the way you qualify, it's so small when you get there. What is it? You had 13 guys. Yeah. I had 17, whereas JUCO I had 32, 33. Wow. So the national tournament was smaller, but it was more, the talent was a lot higher. Okay. Whereas at JUCO's, I think that, maybe you get a couple light taps early rounds.
Right,
so.
Right. Now for you, wrestling all year, I mean, did you guys wrestle each other in any, practices or whatever and preparing? I mean,
we did. Probably looking back on it, not as much as we probably should have. I think we kind of helped each other the most. Right. But towards the end, it was just basically me and him working out for the last couple of weeks.
Right. So. Now you had already been there.
Yes.
And what did that mean for you to be wrestling with someone who already had been there? I mean, did that help you?
Well, when we were in the room and whatnot, the hotel room, we spoke, and he kind of gave me some advice about, what it was going to be like and, the atmosphere so that you could get a little bit of a feel for, you're not too surprised and shocked. And, he painted a good picture, and I was pretty calm during my matches and whatnot, so that helped.
Now, during the season, just so people know, I mean, you had beaten the #1 ranked wrestler in the country during the regular season from Ithaca. So going to the national tournament, I mean, and wouldn't you know, you draw the #1 seed in your bracket, which, you know, I mean, it's just the luck of the way that things go. But tell us about that.
I mean, the rankings, I tried not to pay too much attention because they flew all over the place. I mean, one week you'd be ranked 6th, and then you lose one match, you're not even in the honorable mention anymore.
Right.
You know, so I kind of took those wins, you know, just as trying to do business as usual. And when I drew the 1 seed, I'm not going to lie, I was a little upset about it because he was a national champ the year before. Yeah. But I just tried to clear my head as best I could and, you know, go out there and just give everything I had.
It was a close match.
Yeah, I mean, it was 3-2. I had to let him up to try to tie it up because he had riding time. But looking back on it, I still think that I could have approached it better mentally. I think that maybe the early takedown he got on me could be attributed to butterflies a little bit, you know, national champ.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's no do-overs. But
yeah, not in wrestling, right?
No.
Well, but you also came away with a little extra hardware. You had the most pins at the national tournament, 4.
Yeah.
So congratulations for that.
Thank you.
So for you to be able to come back after, you know, you lost your first match and now you got to regroup a little bit, you know, but you came right back through the wrestlebacks. I mean, tell us a little bit about how that was.
That was tough to regroup. The first match I had was against one of my good friends from Nassau, junior college that I wrestled with. He was my teammate, so that was tough because one of us was going home without an All-American. But you know, you got to do what you got to do. And then a couple matches went my way. I was wrestling well, and the match to All-American wound up being, I think, what was it, 4 overtimes, 5 overtimes. So I had my work cut out for me.
Well, and people don't understand now in wrestling, it's like a double elimination. You know, what people would understand as a double elimination. I mean, you lose 2, that's it, you're done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess you could say once you get on a roll, you know what I mean, you really could do some damage in either or your brackets, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, so how do, you know, tell us a little bit about, you know, if you start getting a little, you know, feeling good and kind of getting on a roll, you know, what that's like to ride out.
Well, I mean, really, once you're having a good day or whatnot, like on the first day of competition, I always work my way up in the championship bracket, and then when you fall a match, you end up in the wrestlebacks is what they'll call it, and you got to win some matches there because if you lose, you're done. So it's extra, you know, motivation for you. But it's kind of like if you win matches, you can work your way all the way back to 3rd. So it's there's some tough matches in the.
Now your dad ended up coming out to join you.
Yes,
How was that?
That was nice. It was nice to share the experience with him. He was my coach in high school for the high school varsity team. So it was good having him there and sharing the experience with him.
And he recently retired?
Yes, this year was his last year coaching.
Last year. So for him, I mean, because you have a brother who wrestled out at RIT.
Yes.
Just because we really didn't talk about it on the show, what was it like? You know, you both went to 2 different schools, you know, and they both had success. Your brother, Jason?
Yes, Jason.
Had success at RIT as well. I mean, you know, your dad, I mean, how does he feel having 2 sons that did what they did?
I mean, I'm sure he's very proud. I mean, we've kind of, that's the one common link between us is wrestling. So, I mean, it was kind of nice. I mean, he was still coaching, so obviously he couldn't come to all the tournaments and stuff. But it was just nice to share the experience, and it's just something that brings us together is the sport of wrestling. And then making it, I mean, being very competitive to the national level, just sharing the experience with all of us. It's just a great experience.
Right, and I think that that's really the thing that we talked about earlier when we had you on the show was the whole, you know, the camaraderie and the group, and how even when, you know, you graduate and there's alums that come back and they support you and they, you know, they hope you do well. And I think that's kind of the way the wrestling and a lot of our teams are here. I mean, even track, you know, when we talk about that thing, I mean, just the spirit of the sport and how you guys compete at such a high level. And we certainly, you know, once again want to say congratulations. And, you know, you've got another year left, so for you, your goals have got to be, what, getting to the top spot, right?
Yep. You know, I lost to the kid who was in the finals and was a national champ pretty close, so that was a good gauge for me. So I think that's a reasonable goal to shoot for.
Well, it certainly is a great goal, and we certainly hope that we'll have you back next winter talking about your hopes and you know, your goals. So thanks for coming by today.
Thank you very much for having us.
And congratulations. We'd like to thank Chris Wade and Josh Wake for coming by tonight. And after the break, we'll be joined by their respective coaches.
means to me the world. Is this what you had in mind?
Every choice we make has a consequence. Help EarthShare and its members restore balance to the world. Visit earthshare.org and see what you can do. EarthShare, one environment, one simple way to care for it.
Welcome back to the show. Returning now, head wrestling coach Dwayne Ritter and associate track and field coach Matt LaPiccolo. Welcome back to the show, guys.
Thanks, Geoff. Thank you.
Certainly want to congratulate both of you for your outstanding, for your athletes. I know you guys aren't the ones who ran the races and wrestled the matches, but it's just as important for you guys to train them, so congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Matt, let's talk first. I mean, really, the track and field program since its inception really is no stranger to the national scene. I mean, we've had national champions. We have numerous All-Americans, indoor and outdoor. Can you just talk a little bit about the experience and what you think it was like for Darrell and Lauren, first time at that meet?
It's the first time since 2004 that we've had two people go to nationals that hadn't been there before. We've always had a returning one to kind of lead the way. So it was actually a new experience as far as that goes for the athletes. So we had to do some things a little different. Obviously, Eric Thies coming out as assistant to help out was vital. And it worked out, coming home with the 25th and 26th All-Americans since 2004.
Yeah, that's incredible. And of course, Dwayne, now you've had, Trevor Haifa was a two-time All-American for us, so obviously we're no stranger there as well. I mean, we've had a pretty nice run in the last 5 or 6 years. For Chris and Josh, especially for Josh, I mean, what did it mean for him, you think, to be an All-American?
They both did a great job. It was a little different experiences, Chris coming in from the junior college and Josh being a local Delhi kid who I'd known even through high school. But for Josh, being here the 4 years and working through it was his ultimate goal, to be an All-American, and seeing him win that match over the number 2 seed in advance. You could see it on his face. He'd achieved that, and as he said, one of the greatest feelings of his life. So
now he was sitting there in the semifinals, and I know he was very excited. And we read a nice story in the paper the next day about it, and I mean, as a coach, what are you trying to do with him now? I mean, do you try and calm him down? Do you try and, how do you handle that?
It was very emotional, very exciting all the way around. He just beat the number 7 and the number 2 seeds. He entered unseeded, unranked, and pulled 2 major upsets. And the first one we knew he could. The second one against the 2 seed, that kid hadn't lost. That was his first loss of the season. That's right. So that was a big upset. Josh had really been surprised. He was an All-American. He was very excited. So I was trying to get him to take a deep breath even in the hall after the match and say, yeah, but now you got a chance to go to the national finals tomorrow, So, and he wanted to. But when you make it to the top 6, there's no weak ones left. So he ended up wrestling 2 national champs and a 3-time All-American on his final day, but still to be top 6 in the country. Unbelievable feat.
Right. Now for track, it's top 8. It is 8 in wrestling as well, but for Darrell and Lauren, do you think they approached their events out there the way they should?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they approached them way differently, which, Darrell's had the experience of going to JUCO Nationals before, and Lauren was just wide-eyed little kid going to Nationals. She didn't even know what to expect, but I think the commonality between the two of them is that they were both fearless going into this, and just to see them thunder away in the semifinals in both events was inspiring to me. Eric and I were just jumping off the bleachers, going crazy, and to get through and to earn the All-American honors on Friday night, to come back Saturday, and whatever place we got was gravy. It was a lot of fun.
Now for wrestling, we finished. We had our best finish ever. Tied for 12th in the country, 25 points. We had 2 All-Americans for the first time at 1 wrestling championships. Going forward, I mean, what do you think that does for your program and the kids that are here now, the freshmen and the sophomores?
I think it was a great experience. I've had other All-Americans win, Haifa, so we've been there before, but it's the first time ever to have multiple in the same year. And then finishing that high. Wade won the Falls Award. Though he drew the top seed, returning national champ, he wrestled back and had 7 matches, 4 pins. So he scored a lot of team points too to throw us up there in the top 12, which was nice to see too, because we weren't ranked that the first part of the year. We saw the early rankings, and we had a lot of injuries throughout the year. We were in the first 5 national pools, but down about 29. So to finish at number 12, you know, it's all about the NCAAs. That's kind of where you want to be. And like I said, Wade's pins really helped move us up there. So as we're recruiting now, you know, that stands out. Guys are saying, wow, 2 All-Americans, wow, top, you know, 12 team finish. So.
Right, right. Now, same thing for you guys. I mean, you know, for at least 5, 6 years now, that's kind of, you know, have you been using that as a way to get these kids in to say, hey, you know, look at these kids. I mean, we just came back with 2 All-Americans. And
absolutely. I mean, we just got the long line of the train going, you know, and we just try to continue that every season on top of each other. And, you know, it's funny because I find that similarity with wrestling is that Dwayne's always got a couple guys going there, and as it's evolved, I think we both came in 2000 here, so this has been 10 years for both of us, and that someone always takes the place going forward, and you know, that's the point that we saw in recruiting, and then develop them once they get here, so that by the time they're juniors, seniors, you know, they can go after these awards and stuff like that.
Now, for Lauren as a sophomore, I mean, talking to you last year, even when she was a freshman, you kind of thought, you know, she really has potential. I mean, so, you know, how do you think that is for her now?
Well, we did see that potential last year. She won, obviously, the 800 outdoors at SUNY, so to do that as a freshman, you know, lights go off in my head. And, you know, we changed her training a little bit, had her run cross country to get a little more aerobically fit for the event. And because you know, I was hoping that this would happen down the line, to happen immediately her sophomore year indoors is unbelievable. So her potential is great. She's the first sophomore to win All-American honors individually since Ashley Robertson did it in 2004, and Ashley went on to win 7 of them. So it's kind of exciting to see what we can do down the line.
Right, because she does, you know, like, you know, besides the 800, she is one of our big guns on the 4x4, which, again, we just barely missed in the indoor season. So, I mean.
Yeah, our women's 4x4 was the first team not to make it to NCAAs. Obviously, Lauren's a big part of that, along with Liz Majeka and stuff. So, the good thing about Lauren and Liz is they have range. You know, Liz can sprint from 100 to 400 and run hurdles, and Lauren can run the 400 and go up to 1500, and obviously meet in the middle for the 800. So we have some range, and we have some talent, and we have a lot of people coming back too.
Now, for our athletic department, I mean, the winter's been very good to us. I mean, this show is highlighting 5 All-Americans, and since I've been here, aside from track, you know, between relays and stuff like that, it's the largest number of All-Americans we've had in one sports season. I mean, so what do you think that says about our coaches, our athletes, the way we're doing things? I mean, Dwayne, maybe you can comment first.
I think there's obviously a lot of good things going on in the whole college. It's a nice place. People want to be here. You know, I think we got a lot of positive things going on, both at the college and the athletic department. You know, a lot of positive, motivated coaches pushing, and, you know, a lot more students being enticed. I know as our admission standards go high, we all, you know, talk about that and not getting some of the kids our competitors do. But also we're bringing in some people that want to be here just for the experience of the college. I think, you know, it's paying off as we get these All-Americans. We're going to be able to sell ourselves as a more elite institution and continue to grow.
Yeah. Now, Matt, what do you?
The support that we get once, you know, to entice the student athletes to come to Oneonta is great, obviously, from our administration. But then the support additionally once they're here in terms of, you know, academics and facilities that we're trying to get, and, you know, the coaching staff, everything's in place to be successful, and I think that's why we're heading in that direction. And it's fun. It's definitely fun to see when you put up all the All-American things in the showcase for this season. It's exciting.
Right. I mean, and now coaches, I mean, you guys are all rooting for each other. You know, so I mean, Vince, you know, basketball, we're going to have Brian Beckford on, who is our first basketball All-American in 32 years. I mean, so, you know, for you guys to, you know, the camaraderie, I mean, what does that mean for the coaching staff?
I think it means a lot too. As I said the other day, you know, to have Matt and a couple other coaches congratulate us when we get back, you know, and same thing, he was going for a run the other day and I went out and caught him, congratulated him. So we're all following each other and wanting to see the success, you know, as a department, as an institution. I think that's important to have that. And I think as we talk about too, some of the D1s, D2s, it's more of a business. Yeah. And that's one of the things we're trying to sell too is, you know, students can come here, be a student athlete. Like Wake winning the Monar Award, Scholar Athlete, you know, that's what I know I'm trying to sell from my program is the whole package. It's a great experience at Oneonta, and we're going to help you be the best, along with all the support in the administration we have, you know, in every faucet. They're going to help them academically, socially, to be successful when they graduate here. So.
And when Matt, same thing? Or?
Well, I think as coaches, we all go through our separate battles, and sometimes we have blinders on to whatever thing else is going around, and when there's 21 sports here. But the one thing we all do have in common is that we just battle, and when success happens, like it's good to see, and we're first to congratulate each other, and we are a team within a team here, so
right.
which is fun.
Right, and that's what makes it all worthwhile. Well, we certainly want to congratulate you both again.
Thanks,
and
Geoff.
thanks for coming by the show again. And we'd like to thank Dwayne and Matt for joining me this evening. And after the break, I'll be joined by our final All-American, senior Brian Beckford.
It was not. It was like...
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to the show. Now joining me in studio is senior All-American basketball player Brian Beckford. Welcome back to the show, Brian.
Thank you. How you doing?
I know the news was kind of shocking today for you, but congratulations on being only our second All-American in men's basketball.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Maybe, I know, because you just found out or whatever, but can you maybe just tell us a little bit about how it feels to maybe reach that pinnacle of basketball success?
I mean, it feels real great. I feel like it feels great, of course, on an individual level, but also on a team level. This award, I feel, it's an individual labeled award, but I think I have to thank my team, the coaching department,
right.
training, athletics, so on, a lot for this award.
Now, of course, we had our best season we'd had in 33 years. We went to the NCAA tournament. I mean, this is a good chance to recap a little bit the whole season. You were SUNY Player of the Year, first team all-conference. Maybe can you just talk about how the last part of the season went on, because we had you here earlier in the semester when we were kind of halfway through. So.
Actually, I remember exactly when I was here. We just was coming off about 3 losses, so the ship was kind of going in the wrong direction. And then ever since then, we put together, I think, like an 8-game winning streak to close out the season, beating some pretty good teams wins we had to get. And on the last night, we got our 20th win, which was our goal at the beginning of the season. Then we actually won 2 more playoffs games. I think the second one against Cortland made us the all-time winningest team here in school history, which was another great night for the team. And then we went on to the SUNY championship, which was, what, 3rd time in school history, I believe?
Only the second time.
Second time in school history. I mean, we came up to the shorter end, but it was good to be there, good experience, and great game, great atmosphere there down in Plattsburgh. And then, of course, we all was on our seats for a little while as we waited for the bid. I remember talking to you after the game, like, are we going to get it, are we going to get it? And we got the bid. We went down to Merchant Marine, played down in there, nice facility, against Franklin and Marshall, Final Four team from last year. Very well coached, very well experienced team. Came up a little short again, but like I said, great experience, good ending to the season. Yeah,
and I certainly being able to go and watch those games up at the SUNY tournament, making it into the championship, and yeah, there was a great atmosphere. I mean, even though it's a visiting crowd, you still want the excitement of the game.
Exactly. And
the game went back and forth. It was well played by both teams. To me, the 2 best teams were played in the SUNY championship this year. I mean, a lot of times you get an upset in the first round, and the number 8 seed is playing, and you're like, it really shouldn't be that way. So certainly, I think the 2 best teams played, and both of us made the NCAA tournament. Plattsburgh, I think because they won the SUNY, they hosted, a 2-game pod that they call them. But we went down to Merchant Marine, and you know what? I think the experience just for our program and the kids, because again, you did set a goal of first winning 20 games. Then I'm sure, the next goal was to win the SUNY and then get to the NCAAs. And I tell you, sitting in the room watching the NCAA program for the bids, and we were one of the last teams that was announced, but just the excitement of the kids jumping off the chairs to we're in the tournament. I mean, that, to me, I got kind of goosebumps as well just watching the kids, because it was just such a culmination of hard work. And I know that's what Vince talks about. So, I mean, can you talk a little bit about how you think, what this does for the team and going forward, and some of the kids that will be coming back for next year?
I mean, it has to give you a lot of confidence, a lot to look forward to, a lot of motivation. Of course, now it's a higher level set, so I'm sure guys are going to work a lot harder and just be ready to take on all challenges that's coming their way.
Right.
Everybody was excited, of course, like jumping up and down when it happened, and it was just a great time, a great experience.
And
for
now,
the school.
do you think that the team, seniors, we had you, Kevin Walsh, Michael Grimes, Ray Coxon, and Ryan Green. For you, obviously being the first team in 33 years to do it, a senior leadership group, what did it mean to you as seniors to be able to say, hey, we were part of this team?
It actually meant a lot, especially the way we started off the season. In our scrimmages, we didn't look too good. We didn't know where the season was headed. And then me, Mike, and Kev, we just got together, talked a lot, like what we're going to do, and kind of just righted the ship. And we had no idea what the season would lead to, where it led to, but we just continued to work hard and hope for good things, and it happened. And me and Mike and Kevin couldn't be more proud. Along with the rest of the seniors, we couldn't just be more proud.
Right, because everybody did contribute. I mean, it was, every night somebody different would, Brian Hooks would score 18, and Shane Gillette would score 12 or 20. You know what I mean? I mean, it just seems like the total team effort is really what got us to that, the season that we had, and certainly, recruiting going forward, makes it a little easier for Vince, I would say, and we're hoping we're going to be able to have him on as well to talk about, the season and stuff. But now you're, we talked about it, you're a criminal justice major, and you're hoping to get into being a state trooper?
State trooper. I was actually looking into a couple of civil service exams involving police work. Me and Coach sat down and was looking at that, so we got the ball going on that.
Right. So now Coach Medici is still involved. I mean, we want to be able to tell this to people who are looking at men's basketball. I mean, Coach Medici, just because the season's over, you're a senior, you're not done.
No, he doesn't let me go. I still have to call him, answer all his calls. I have to go to meetings. I have to work soccer games still. No, it's not over.
Yeah, which is good.
And the relationship is never over, from what I understand. Even past experienced players are still here, so relationship is never over.
And I think, because of course down at the Merchant Marine, we had, I got to say, maybe close to a dozen former players that came that Vince, kind of at the beginning of where Vince was, and some of the players who played 4 years for him. What did that mean to you guys to have those players show up?
Initially, I couldn't believe they was there, and then to have the support and for them to be there and actually cheering us on, we knew we was playing for more than just us. It was the university, the past, the history. And it meant a lot to us. It gave us a lot of push. So we thank those guys for coming out.
Right, and of course all the parents that were there all year long, and we had quite a few administrators come down, and I think just people who are proud of the university and what is going on in athletics, and of course the men's basketball team with the season that we had in the winter. I mean, just the winter season. I mean, we have 5 All-Americans, 2 wrestlers, 2 track, 1 basketball. I mean, we weren't too far away from in women's basketball. We got some great players there. Yeah, so overall, maybe within the department, I mean, what do you think for your experience just overall?
No, it's great. I think there's a lot going on at Oneonta that I think a lot of people may not know about, and they will though in the future. A lot of great athletes here, not just in basketball. Right. I understand track and field is doing very well, and then like you said, the wrestlers are doing very well. So yeah, it's a lot going on here.
And it certainly makes us proud of you and proud to be a part of our program, and we certainly want to wish you good luck and congratulations once again.
Thank you.
All right, well, we certainly like to thank Brian for coming by this evening, and after the break, we'll be joined by Vince Medici.
What's up? This is my friend Rob from Michigan.
What's up?
He's a teenager.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Woo! Hey, you want to slow down there?
No.
Really? Oh, okay.
What are you doing?
We're shooting a viral video. Hold on, I want to see this. Hey, this is his last 5 minutes on Earth. A little something to Mom? Say something to Mom. How about, goodbye, Mom, sorry.
Welcome back to the show. Joining me now in studio is head men's basketball coach Vince Medici. Welcome back to the show, Vince.
Great to be here, Geoff.
Well, we certainly would like to, first of all, congratulate you on your outstanding season that we just completed. And certainly we had Brian on the show to talk about his accomplishment as being our first All-American in men's basketball in over 30 years. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it is. Thanks for the recognition of our program and our season. Brian had an outstanding season, and it's a great accolade to finish his career here.
Right. Now, and that's what I'd like to kind of talk about. Let's talk about the season. We had you on kind of in January. We talked about the season and maybe some of the expectations that you had for the team. And, your goal, you said, was to win the SUNY championship and get to the NCAAs. We didn't win the SUNY tournament, but we played in the championship game, and we still got an at-large berth because of our strong non-conference schedule. So just talk a little bit about the season in review.
Well, our non-league schedule was very difficult, and we won every game. I think we were 7-0, and so that certainly helped us. The season in a whole obviously was a great success, and you know, it's attributed to the guys how hard they worked all season, and you know, their will to succeed and work together was just it was you know, you sit back now and you look upon it. During the season, you're in a rush for the next game, but you look back upon it, and it was a pretty incredible year. And you know, we'd love to win that conference championship, but the kids played well that day. You know, I think it sets up good for next year and for the young kids coming up in our program to look forward to that kind of competition every year.
Right now, and that's kind of the next question is you know, now you've kind of been there. The program's been steadily improving, getting better, more competitive. We're there. So now for these kids coming back, like Shane Gillette and Brian Hooks, and you know, some of Troy Talbot, you know, can you just talk a little bit about, you know, what it will do for them as seniors coming back? And
well, I think just that confidence level, knowing that they can get to that level, they can play there and compete in the NCAAs. I think, you know, you're always skeptical because you don't know where you fit in the realm of things. But I think when you go through it, they look at each other and say, you know, we're just as good as anybody else out there. You know, we're the same age as those guys, so anything is possible. So I think that sets up good for next year. You know, our 4 juniors back, the 3 you mentioned, and Derek Hahn, who contributed quite a bit this year. I think it is a good starting point for our kids and our young kids coming in. These guys, from what I can tell right away, have already started preparing for next season.
Right. So and I would think that just the enthusiasm and the energy coming off such a, you know, we set a school record for wins in a season, which hadn't been done. You know, we hadn't won 20 games period since our 77 team that went to the NCAA championship game.
Right.
So, you know, it's been a kind of a long time coming, and not that we haven't had any great players or good teams along the way during that time. We just never seemed to get kind of to that next point. So as going forward with some of the younger players, even just some of our freshmen, you know, the enthusiasm, you know, you'll think they'll be in the weight room more, they'll be doing the things that need to be done? I
think so. I think, you know, this kind of sets a tone for, you know, I want to get there every year. You know, I didn't know what it was like, but now that I've been there, I want to be there. Right. And I think, you know, that I think will generate, with the young freshmen coming in next year, I think that will generate enthusiasm and hard work, and here's what it takes to get to where we need to go.
Now,
so
what, recruiting-wise, obviously, being in the NCAA tournament, it's got to boost your recruiting.
Well, it certainly you know, it helped for interest. I mean, I've been inundated with emails and things of that nature, and I think in the future it will continue to help. This year we kind of got out there early and got some very talented kids to commit early before we even got to the NCAAs. So obviously now that we're going, or we went and experienced it, their excitement to make that commitment now is even, you know, tenfold. It's like, wow, I'm glad I made this commitment to come here because I'm looking forward to hopefully getting back there where you guys were. So I think, you know, even next year it will continue to help. It's certainly not going to hurt, that's for sure, you know.
Now, we have the younger brother of Brian Hooks coming.
Yeah.
How do you think that'll work out?
Well, I think it'll work out great for the family because now they can just go to one gym and see 2 kids play.
Right.
He's got a great work ethic, just like Brian does, and you know, he's a little bit different kind of a player. I mean, he can shoot the ball like Brian, but he handles the ball fairly well. He gets to the basket, and but his work ethic and the kind of person he is is the kind of people we want in this program.
Right. Yeah. Now, some of the younger kids that played this year, you know, Cameron Boyden was making a contribution there before he kind of got sick and couldn't play. Mm-hmm. Some of those kids, as they come back and progress, you know, what kinds of things are you counting on from them?
Yeah, well, I think Cameron Boyden was really starting to get in the flow of things in January, and he was starting to get more minutes and learning everything. And you know, then he got the mono, was out for a month, so I kind of heard him. I think his work ethic in the offseason is very good, so he's excited about the opportunity to compete for minutes, you know, next year. And you know, Dan McLaren, I mean, there was a span there where he didn't get in many games, but then there was a time where we're in the SUNY championship, and we got in foul trouble, and Mike was injured, and we called on Danny to go out and defend Chris Ruiz from Plattsburgh, and he did an outstanding job. I think he played like 8 minutes or something, and he did an outstanding job. So just in practice and all, the guys have just gotten better and better, and their work ethic has gotten better.
Right, and I you know, like you said, I think that now that they've been there and they've gotten a little taste, I'm sure practices and things will be, like, the intensity level will probably be even a little bit more next year.
I think so, and I expect it to be, you know. and that'll make my job easier.
Well, again, we certainly would like to thank you for coming by, and we certainly say congratulations again on an outstanding season and having, Brian as an All-American. So thanks for coming by tonight.
Thanks for having me, and appreciate all your support throughout the year.
Well, you're welcome. Well, we'd like to thank Coach Medici for coming by, and I'd like to thank all my guests once again, all of our All-Americans for their accomplishments this winter. And we'd like to thank you for joining us again for Inside Red Dragon Sports, and we certainly hope that you'll join us next Monday evening.